Hello, time travelers! When Windows 11 came out, Microsoft changed the taskbar and completely ignored how their operating system has worked for decades. This video is about how to fix Windows 11's garbage taskbar, because with every version of Windows, Microsoft makes it more garbager. Corey Gamer asked me in a comment to do a video on this, but a lot of people have actually asked me. Over the years, I've only had a couple comments, most of it's people that know me in person, but now I'm going to have this video that I can point them to. You could say that they're innovating, but removing features that people use is something Apple does to make people buy more stuff. Like removing the headphone jack on the iPhone is a way to make you buy more accessories. So you could throw that theory in the trash, because Windows 11 was a free upgrade. This is my look of disapproval. Before you click off of this video, just let me show you what it's about. I'm not forcing you to change anything on your computer, just showing you a few ideas.
Do it! Just do it!
Here's my taskbar. I've got a lot of stuff going on. I had to set up my sound before recording this video, so you can see those in the taskbar. I can just close those, but I'm getting ahead of myself. This is your start button, obviously. This area is called Quick Launch. This is something that was around for a while, and they got rid of it in Windows Vista, but then you could put it back in if you knew how. This is just normal taskbar with tabs for the windows that are open, so you can see what windows are open. Like, I have Forge that I was running earlier in command line, and Koya. My viewers that do AI stuff know what I'm talking about there. There's Firefox. I've got OBS running twice because one's for my webcam and the other one is for recording the desktop. And here's a big thing I use every day in the taskbar, which you can't do unless you change the taskbar settings, which is dragging files over to another program. So say I have Stable Diffusion Automatic 1111 over here. I could drag this image over there like that. In this particular tab, it has a certain function if you do that, but we're not getting into that. I'm just showing you something. What if you couldn't see your browser and you couldn't do that? Let's say you're like this and you've got other stuff going on. Well, you can drag your image down to the taskbar, and it's not 100%, but about 90% of the time, at least for me, when you drag it down to the program you want to open it in, as long as that program's on a page that could take it, you could do that. This is the same for other programs. Like I have GIMP open, so let's say I needed to fix something in here, you know, because this is like the open source version of Photoshop. Drop it in. Another example is me working on this video, okay? I drop stuff in here all the freaking time. So let's say I had some asset in here, like the Windows 7 taskbar to show it. I could just drag it in like that. But if this, I'm gonna hit Control Z on that and minimize this. If it's not up, I have to go like this. And this is a good example because I have two instances of Vegas open right here. And the way that Windows 7, 8, 10, and 11 have it is that these are both stacked on top of each other as one giant icon, and it's a big pain to do what I just demonstrated. And then here's a quick launch. And I have it show all the icons, and Windows XP is when they started hiding these, which is probably the first time I said this is my look of disapproval. Because some programs have icons that go in the system tray. And for those icons, most of them, you want to keep an eye on their status. Like there's my Google Drive, it's working. There's my Bluetooth, it's running. Here's a little icon showing me how much VRAM I'm using in my GPU. I did a video about that. Steam's running, volume control, RGB software, something that I made for my own privacy. I'm not telling you what it is, none of your business. And I'm running OBS twice so I can see the status of those. And my discrete sound card thingy, volume control and all that. And let me open one thing so I can show you something else. All right, I just loaded my VPN. And let's say I'm teleworking and I have to have my VPN running. I can just glance down here and see, oh, it's the gray icon. It's not connected yet. And another cool thing is if you leave Task Manager open, it will show like this little graph of the system's use for your performance. So you can keep an eye on it. Okay, I loaded up Discord because I needed to tell you about another thing while working in the office or teleworking or whatever. Teams is a program that doesn't close when you close its main window. You have to go down here and close it by right-clicking it and hitting Quit Teams. And Discord's the same way. So I got this main Discord window here, and I close it. It's still down here. It's still running using my computer's resources, and Teams is really buggy. Discord, not so much, but you still have to do the same thing sometimes, which is quit it by right-clicking it and hitting Quit Teams or Quit Discord. And that's a lot harder to remember and do if it's hidden behind a thing. Okay, in this video, I'm gonna have 3 main sections, which is Windows 10 for people like me who refuse to use Windows 11 until they either fix it or Windows 12 comes out, because every other version of Windows is terrible. The second section is going to be what you can do in Windows 11 to get some of these features, whichever ones you want to use, without using any mods. And the third section is going to be how to use a mod to get even more of the old features back into Windows 11. All right, let's get started with Windows 10. I'm running a virtual machine, so I don't have to screw up everything that I've got on my main computer. And this is how Windows 10 22H2 comes. You got your start button, your start menu. You get the search box that takes up a bunch of space down here. This task view button, which is the same as Windows tab, so you don't need that. You've got pinned icons, which is clutter. I'll get into that. This weather thing, your hidden system tray icons, and then some other stuff. Let's do this one step at a time so you guys can follow along and choose which ones of these features you want to enable. Right-click the taskbar first thing, and you want to go up to Search and go to Hidden. But you use the search thing and you're afraid of hiding it? Well, all you got to do is open a Start menu and start typing. And you're like, well, I don't want to click the mouse and use the keyboard to start typing. Well, on your keyboard, bottom row, second button from the left, is this button. You just press it and start typing whatever, like Task Manager. I'm gonna go ahead and run that and leave that open. So let's do the next thing. Right-click the taskbar and uncheck Show Task View button. Because I can do that with my keyboard, and using the keyboard, it's faster than the mouse. I can use Alt-Tab, or I can use Windows-Tab for the task view. All right, now let's do this weather, whatever it is. When you click on it, it's got News and Interests. You right-click on the taskbar, and you hit News and Interest, and go over and hit Turn Off. Now it's gone. Freed up that space. Now the next thing we're going to do is address the taskbar settings, because you got to do that before you do the other stuff. Right-click the taskbar, uncheck Lock the taskbar. Then grab the top edge of the taskbar, drag it up 1 notch. You can resize this later. Like, for example, down here, I like 3 levels on my editing rig, but it's going to get shorter here in a second. Right-click on the taskbar in an open spot and hit Taskbar Settings. You want to choose Use Small Taskbar Buttons right here. That's going to get you back to the icon sizes that we used to have before Windows 7 even. Scroll down. Where it says Combine Taskbar Buttons, you want to change that to Never. And now you're going to have tabs. Now for notification area, in Windows 10 they're using the wrong term. They actually changed the terminology back to System Tray in Windows 11, but I digress. Click on Select which icons appear on the taskbar. And you can just choose which ones you want to always be on, or do like I do and hit all of them. It looks fine with all of them. As you can see now, I can see my Windows Defender status and OneDrive, which I'm not going to use the OneDrive that comes with Windows because it's... What are you doing, Microsoft? Stop! Just stop! Now, if you have multiple monitors, you can turn this one on that says Show Taskbar on all displays. I'll use my main computer to show you what my settings are, because I have 2 monitors. Here we go. Multiple displays, show taskbar on all displays on, show taskbar buttons on taskbar where a window is open. So, as you can see in my taskbar here, the little settings tab from this window being open, if I move this to my other monitor, it disappears from this taskbar, and I can't show you right now, and it goes to the other monitor's taskbar. That's going to help you declutter. Combine taskbar buttons on other taskbars. And you could say when taskbar is full or never. So I would change that to never. I don't know why I had on the other setting. Maybe I forgot. I don't know. Shut up. Now we're done with all that. And if you want to use quick launch, I'm going to show you how to get that set up. You right click on the taskbar in an empty spot and go to Toolbars and click New Toolbar. This is a folder browse window. And you want to type a %, user profile, all one word. Make sure it's spelled right. And don't ask me in the comments why it's not working because you type userprofile or something. %, \. And what this is a variable that represents the full path to your Windows profile. It's a folder in, files and folders and all that. But most people don't know their username. It's whatever. I don't need to memorize all that. I just do that. I will have the full path in the description of the video so that you can copy paste it, but watch here and see what I'm typing so that you can make sure it all goes in correctly. And you want a backslash at the end, and you put Appdata backslash roaming backslash Microsoft backslash Internet Explorer backslash quick launch. That whole path, and press enter, and then enter again. And you'll see quick launch over here, and it's kind of cluttered and weird looking. But when you hover your mouse over these two lines and then click, your mouse will turn into the whatever this icon is. You got to do this a certain way. Start dragging left and go up to where your mouse is on the top part. Don't go too high like that, because oops, I just messed it up. Go up to where it's almost going to go to the top, and then you go all the way left, and then where you have your quick launch part is above your regular taskbar part. And then you find your two lines for the regular taskbar part and move that over to where it's like that. We're not done yet, but this half is quick launch and this half is taskbar. Right click in the quick launch in an open spot where there's nothing there and uncheck show text. Go back in there by right clicking there again and uncheck show title. Now you can grab these two lines for the taskbar and move it back over here. Now here's a trick. If you have a program anywhere, you can click it and hold Alt down on the keyboard and drag it into the quick launch. It will say create link in quick launch. When you see that, you let go of the mouse button and then let go of Alt on your keyboard. And for this reason, this is clutter and this gets confusing and ugly and terrible. And what are you doing?
What are you doing? What are you doing?
Nothing. Me? Just hanging around.
For example, if I click File Explorer from here, now it expands and these little icons and these big icons. No, stop it, Microsoft, what are you doing? Right click on each one of these and hit Unpin from Taskbar. And that's it. I've decluttered the Windows 10 taskbar. Shut up, storage space notification. You're not in this scene. This is a virtual machine. I don't care. All right, in this section, I'm going to be showing you how to do Windows 11 with only the settings that are in Windows 11 if for whatever reason you can't use the mod that I'm going to talk about in the next section. Hey, this is Future Me interrupting just for a second to tell you a quick note. If the version of Windows that you're currently running is older than Windows 11 22H2, then you will not have access to all of these features. I'm demonstrating with 23H2. 22 or 23, that means what year it came out. The H number means first half or second half of the year. First version of Windows 11 that came out was in 2021, and they release a new version once or twice a year. And when the first one came out, a bunch of these features were not in Windows 11 and people kept complaining. And Microsoft sometimes puts another feature back in. We don't know if they're going to put them all back in. But basically, you have two options. Either upgrade your installation of Windows 11 to be at least 22H2, or if you don't have access to that or for some reason you can't do that, skip in this video to the part where I show you how to get all these features back by installing mods. Now I'm going to show you how to check what version of Windows you have. It's really easy. On your keyboard, you press Windows button and the letter R together, and then this run box opens. And then you type in WinVer, W-I-N-V-E-R. If this does not work, then you didn't spell it right. And press enter, and Windows puts it way up there. Move it down so you can see what I'm talking about. See, my editing rig is Windows 10 22H2. But let's get back to demonstrating how to change these settings in Windows 11. I'm running the latest flavor of Windows 11, which is 23H2. And you got widgets thing over here, the start button's in a weird spot. You get the search thing again, that's taking up space that you don't need when there's a search thing in the start menu. And look at the widgets and everything else is trying to consume the system's resources when I'm just moving the mouse around. Oh my gosh. Let's start by getting rid of the search thing. Right click the taskbar and go to taskbar settings. Change the option for search to hide. And now you can just use search just like Windows 10 with the added option of actually seeing the search bar before you start typing. Turn Copilot off, which is their AI thing, so it's not just stuck down there. Turn off the task view icon because All that is Windows button tab. That's all. Like, I don't need to go to the taskbar to click something for that. Turn off widgets, because I don't need that popping up when my mouse goes over there. That's just Microsoft sticking something in the bottom left corner where the start button should be, and this is my extreme look of disapproval. You're just trying to trick me into clicking something I don't want. And scroll all the way down to taskbar behaviors, expand that, and change the taskbar alignment to left. That puts the start button where it's supposed to be, because in America, we read from the left to the right, not from middle to out. That doesn't even make sense. Scroll further down, and we're gonna start working on the taskbar section down here. And where it says combine taskbar buttons and hide labels, you change that to never. And this one that's grayed out is for taskbars on other monitors. So you would change it to the same setting. Now you notice that I've actually got labels on the taskbar items here. And if you want, you can take the pinned items and unpin them. Like so. We used to have the option to pin the start menu, but that's gone. So let's see now what we can do about the system tray area, where it wants to hide icons for important things we want to keep an eye on. If you're at the top of the taskbar part of the settings menu, scroll down until you see other system tray icons and expand that. Now this only works, it's weird, like sometimes the program has to be open in order for you to see it as an option in here. Like I always want to see whether or not I've got a Bluetooth device connected. And let's say OneDrive wasn't showing and I needed to show that. I could turn that on there. Or VPN or whatever. You turn it on. But you can't turn them all on with one switch. That's the annoying thing. And now for the section that you've probably all been waiting for. Or you skipped to this section, which is how to get as many features back into Windows 11 taskbar as you can using a add-on or plugin or app or whatever you want to call it. Use whatever browser you want. In this case, I'm using Edge because I'm not messing around with this virtual machine too much and it's already installed. And you're going to go to the Explorer Patcher GitHub page. I'll have that linked in the descriptables below, obviously. Scroll down past all the blah 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 and look for where it says download the latest version of the setup program. Click that, and instead of just running it right away, hit this little folder icon. Get in there, just in case Windows won't let you install it. I've heard that some people have to rename this to anything before running it, but go ahead and run it. Allow it, if that comes up, depending on how you have security settings on Windows. It might not come up for you. Give it a minute, because it changes the taskbar around a little bit. And it changed my taskbar to white. So that is going to be really terrible for my eyesight. So let's change that first. Right click on the taskbar, hit taskbar settings, go on the top left and type color. Either click or use your keyboard and go down to where it says apply color to start, taskbar, and action center. Press enter. Where it says choose your mode, change that to custom. Choose your default Windows mode, you need to change that to dark. There we go. Choose your default app mode, that's up to you, but I'm gonna change it to dark. It doesn't matter really, I'm gonna actually put it back to light. Because all we're trying to do is have contrast between your windows and the taskbar. You can change yours the way you want, but this is good enough for now. What is this? Oh, Explorer Patcher thing that we just installed updated something. That's cool. I thought it was Windows interrupting me. Whatever. Moving on. Notice how it's already 2 level tabs down here and it's showing labels. That's good instead of just icons. I thought you could pin things to the taskbar by right clicking it, but I see it's not in there. It's got the control for the start menu in there. What if I shift and right click? There's pinned to taskbar. If you're into these pinned icons, that's how you get it. Shift and right click, or you could right click and go and click show more options. I don't, so I'm gonna unpin that because we're gonna use quick launch here in a minute. Now there's search button. I don't need a search button there to open the search menu. All I need to do is open the start menu and start typing. So right click on the taskbar, go to toolbars. I don't see search anywhere. So task view isn't even a thing there. So let's go back to taskbar settings. Oh, there's a search option. Change that to hide. Task view off, Copilot off, widgets off. Good. We've cleaned all that up. Now let's do the quick launch. which is this area. We're going to put it in here. Right click on the taskbar in an open spot, go to toolbars, new toolbar, and you're going to type %, user profile, and then a %. I said this earlier in the video, but if you skipped ahead to the Windows 11 part, if this doesn't work, you most likely are spelling this wrong. This just makes it easier to type on any computer. You don't need to know the actual full path of that folder. It is equivalent to a path to a certain folder we need. I did put the full path to this folder in the video descriptables below for you to copy paste, but I recommend that you watch and see how I do it so that when you put it in, you can make sure that it goes in correctly. Go to the end and put a \, Appdata, \, roaming, \, Microsoft, \, Internet Explorer, \, quick launch. Press enter and then enter again. Now it looks kind of funky right now, but we need to move it a certain way. You notice when you hover your mouse over these two lines, your mouse cursor changes. So you go towards the top of it, click and hold, and drag the mouse all the way to the left to where the quick launch section is above the taskbar one. And then click on these two lines on the taskbar one, and we're going to drag that over to the right. Now it's still kind of cluttered and weird. Right click right here in an open spot, uncheck show text, go back, right click it, and uncheck show title. Now you can move this back. Now for any program you want to put down there, you find it on the desktop first, hold Alt on your keyboard, click on the program, drag it down, let go of the mouse, and then let go of Alt on the keyboard. In this case, I can get straight to the recycle bin, but obviously I would put things I commonly use every day down there. Now let's do the system tray, which is this area over here. What you want to do is right click on this caret or up arrow, whatever you want to call it. I don't care, I'm not going to fight you. Right click that and hit properties. And this is the Explorer Patcher properties window. And then go to taskbar right here. Go all the way down here where it says taskbar icon size, large, and change it to small. And now it looks more like Windows 10. While you are still in this taskbar section, find where it says customize notification area icons, because there's a Windows 7 menu that's still in Windows 11 that you can get opened. Click that little up arrow thing and this will load. Look at the bottom left where it says always show all icons and notifications on the taskbar. Check that and hit OK. Now you're going to show it like it should have been in the whole time, ever since Windows XP hid them. This is a self-promo section. You know how to do all the YouTube things, like and subscribe and all that. If you feel like supporting the channel, I do have Patreon and Buy Me a Coffee and all that set up. Links in the description below. And here's another thing that you guys might be interested, but I'm not sure what your interest level is. I've had one comment on my YouTube channel about it so far, which is the start menu I use that looks like this, because I put all these icons in here manually. And Windows 10 looks like that. And this is actually a program I installed and configured myself. It's called Open Start Menu. So tell me in the comments if you're interested in that. And if you use the command line a lot and the new command line window is super huge and annoying, I actually did a video on that, how to make it small again. It's right here. This is whatever YouTube thinks is best, I guess. Algorithms and all that. And you've got buttons on your screen for subscribe and my Patreon. So thanks for hanging out all the way to the end of the video, and I'll see you in the next one.